Build your business as an app inside ChatGPT and Claude. So this is the webinar. And before I start, I wanted to acknowledge one thing is that with all this AI boom, there's two distinct people groups that are merging. And one are scared and one are looking at this as an opportunity, taking it by the collar and doing most of it. So I can definitely tell that each and every one that you joined that show interest and are coming to this are really in the second group. So that's already very good and congratulations. So let's dive in into the webinar. Um, with ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, OpenAI is similar what we saw with Apple, the App Store, when it opened in 2008. Well, what they did, they opened a marketplace for all the apps. And this meant that anyone, including businesses, and mostly who profited from it were businesses, were able to publish their applications, their business applications, the services that they provide to this new channel. And that unlocked a lot of new opportunities. We know that with apps, that customers that they have became more sticky. So all kinds of benefits came from it. And actually the ones that submitted first and established their position early in these in the App Store, they were much harder to get down from the first positions. ChatGPT and Claude also have their own marketplaces of apps. You mostly already seen it. Maybe you already interacted with them. A simple example would be even a Gmail. So they also have an app. You can make a connect to your Gmail and then manage it from ChatGPT, Claude, Calendar. There's different kinds of Canva as well have it. Big ones already are there. So this is definitely an opportunity that we're seeing for other businesses, e-commerce businesses, B2B businesses, to also get there and promote that channel to see the benefits and establish their position there early. All right. Next thing, I wanted to establish one thing: what this is and what is it not. So what we're talking about now is not another chatbot that just appears. So this is actually a channel within Claude, within ChatGPT, for your e-commerce or any other system. So in this webinar, we will be focusing mostly on e-commerce flow. I will be demonstrating that, but keep in mind that this also applies to any system. Any system a workflow can be moved here, internal, also B2B, to your B2B customers. That also can be moved to Claude and ChatGPT. And as well, it's not an AI experiment. It's already happening. It's already giving value to real value in dollars, euros. So it's not something just to see, try, and drop off. That's actually happening. Apps are being published and they are gaining traction. So it also doesn't replace your current infrastructure as per se. It extends it as to say it's another channel. So if you have an e-commerce already website working with your systems, so this will be another channel. It's not replacing your e-commerce. It still runs in the background and it can also be used, but this opens up a new layer, an actually exciting layer where a lot of users currently are. And it's not 2 years project. So what we're going to be seeing today and also what we are talking about, it can be live in 2 weeks. So even not months. So this is quick validation as well. And you can start seeing some results. Now that's out of the way. I know you're excited about the demo, so let's move forward. So what you're about to see. One customer, one chat, me. I will be the customer. in my own cloud account. And what I'll do, I'll browse the catalog, I'll search for a product, I'll add to cart, I'll place an order, I'll check order status, submit a support ticket, and all of that I'll do through Claude. And it's actually, you will be seeing both my screen of Claude, what I'm doing, and on the left side, if it's not mirrored, you will see the website in the background where I'm not clicking. Actually, Claude is also not clicking there. We are connected through, we'll discuss the technicalities, but all of that is happening in the background automatically. And you'll see how cart is filling up, the order placed, support tickets submitted, updates, all of that magic. So let's not wait no longer. And let me just switch. All right, now you should be seeing both screens. So on the right side here, you see my Claude. It's a new chat. And here on the left side, we have the store. So here I won't be doing anything. It's for just you to visually see that actually things are happening on the system. And actually, let's open the cart. And currently, cart is empty. So I haven't added any products. We need some use case. So let's think about something realistic and fun. For example, let's buy a gift for my girlfriend. I'll use the voice mode so you don't need to uh, read anything I write. It actually picks it up. So it's a nice user journey. Hey, I'm looking for a gift for my girlfriend. Can you give me recommendations from the store? All right, so we can start seeing, yeah. So what we see how it works, it actually connects to the store and runs an action. And here it gave me recommendations for my girlfriend gift. 5 of them. And as we can see, it includes all the visuals. It's like product pods on your website with all the information, the ratings, prices, stock, how fast it can be delivered, SKU, images, everything is here. And of course, on top of it, there's this AI Cloud interface where it also then reads this data and gives the personalization. A few options from the store. The standout gift would be a Celtic Tree of Life throw blanket. Okay, let's go with its suggestion. Uh, of course, it, as Claude does in any AI, it tries to narrow it down, helping me to make the user journey better. I think we can go with the blanket, but before I do, I want to learn more about it. I like the blanket. Can you tell me more about it? All right. And here, what we're seeing is a product details page. Before I continue, can someone just thumbs up it or something that you still continue to see my screen? Making sure we're all good. Yes, all good. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Then yeah, it's like a product details page and we can see specification with all the details. I can expand the description. It's really nice. All the widget, the HTML aspect actually behind it, it's HTML, the same technology that websites are. So we can actually reuse what you already have. And if you have a website and show all this data here, top customer review, so it picked up that. And then it also complements it with its own solid choice here. Uh, and what I really like about this, you see, it really works for you. One thing to flag, only 3 left in stock. Scarcity, huh? Not only it promoted it for you, it also wants me to buy quickly, which is, I think, very nice. I'm definitely interested. Let's go with this one. Yes, it looks awesome. Let's add it to cart. So here now the left side we should look at it as well because we should see the blanket appearing. Let's see. Okay, boom. Here it is. So it appears. And I don't need my website to be opened as such. It's just for visual, for you to see it, that it's happening, but I can just be in Claude. It works. And also it gives me a URL if I want to check it for myself or just continue. So it's proposing me to check out or adding something else, which is nice. And actually, let's add something else. And I'll be very generic of it. I won't tell anything specific. Yeah, I'm thinking something else, but let's keep it cheap. I'm low on budget and something small, tiny. Let's see. So finding products and here, small gifts for girlfriend. Very good. Again, all the visuals, all the things, a few good small options under 15 and some suggestions. I'll check myself. Mhm. I think this egg yolk looks interesting. Egg yolk separator. Not sure if it's a good gift, but definitely something funny. Let's do it with it. The egg yolk separator looks good. Let's add it to the cart. Okay, so we should have now two items in a sec. It's actually pretty quick, I would say. So here it is. We have now two items. Great. And I think I'm ready to check out. That's it. It's already $68. So very good. Did we get discounts? Not sure. On the cart page, it doesn't show, but let's see. All right. Yeah, I'm ready to check out. And it should walk me through the process. I can process checkout for you directly. You'll need to complete that to yourself, your shipment method. Here, it's good that it throws this one as it can, but sometimes that's something that with MCPs, with the way how it works, we need to improve some of the catching of the actions. Sometimes it has here it has a security measure for checkout that it always needs to confirm it. So actually what it needs is just to get the confirmation. So I think it should be quite pretty easy fix. Um, Actually, do it for me, the checkout. I'll provide the address and you can check out for me. I'll confirm. Hmm. Person into forms. Yeah, here an interesting approach. Test it 3 times. This one here, it's stubborn. Again, this is on cloud side, so this is AI. There is an action to check out, but it really wants to push me for this one. It can happen. Models can react differently. I think it's a good use case to see. Nevertheless, even I think what it brings us to is a good point where sometimes even you don't want people to check out immediately from Claude. You want them to go to the website and they can just get the link and enter all their credit cards since this is not yet implemented at Claude on adding credit cards. But here we had a sending an invoice, to email payment form, so it should be good. Let me try again, actually. There must be, I will be very specific, checkout action available. And double check it. You're right. Okay, finally. Stubbornness. You're right, the checkout are available. I found it error, but the rule I follow is that submitting orders on someone's behalf requires me to handle shipping addresses and payment details, which I'm not able to do even if you provide them. Uh, the ship payment is Invoice to email should be good. I'll just need to provide you and confirm address. Let's proceed. Worst case, we can start another chat, and I think fair enough. Okay, some precision, interesting. Claude's very protective of my data. Very good, actually. Um, let's ship it to scandiweb. Find the address for me. All right, so it's finding the address. All right, very good. Shall I proceed? Yes, let's place an order. Okay, order is placed. So all of it happened, and it gives me nice details. It confirmation sent to my email. She's going to love the blanket. Huh, what a nice touch. Let's see. The order was placed. Here it is. Okay, so now the next step, let's imagine some time passed. We can't really do it, but here I want to check on my order. Where is it? Hey, can you check where my order is? And it remembers that I had that. And it's checking it for me. That's, I think, pretty neat. No need to click through the website. Still in processing. Place today. Estimated delivery June 20. No tracking info yet. Should update once it ships. Pretty good. And now I want to place a support ticket since I decided that egg yolk was not a good gift. Actually, I was thinking about it, and the egg yolk separator seems like not a good gift. Can you please place a support ticket for me to cancel that one from my order? Thank you. All right. All right, it's creating a support ticket, and I have access to also support tickets. So here they are. We see, and it write it nicely. Customer would like to cancel the from order. The blanket should remain. Order is still in processing status, so that can be initiated. So all of these actions happened, as you saw. All was good. With checkout, it's first time I think I got it once out of 20 times. But again, it depends also on the customer's usage of their Claude, how protective they have been of the data, how they want Claude to treat and act on their behalf. So that experience is on them. There's less of a control, but it's possible to uh, explain the actions to Claude in the MCP that we'll discuss. So it actually would be less resilient against placing an order. And I don't need to push it a bit. All right, awesome. That's demo. How did you like it? Some thumbs ups, maybe. So what actually happened behind the scenes? Let's see. Let's break it down. So what you saw was the entry point, ChatGPT and Claude. And actually what you also saw was the commerce platform at the same time. But in general, as a user, you would see the entry point. You wouldn't have both of them opened unless you want to. And I was connected through a thing called auth login. And that's a protocol, that's the way to log in. That's how Gmail works. Pretty much, I'm connected through the email and the account that I have on the same e-commerce platform. I was already pre-registered. And when I set up the connector, the MCP app on the cloud, which is straightforward process, like 3 clicks. And in case it's in the library of Claude, then it's just 1 click process. Even simpler, then it's also 1 click. You log in with the same account, and my accounts are connected, and I can manage all my experience with browsing the website, the e-commerce store from it as I showed. So what makes it work is this layer in between, MCP server. So it is a server that exposes to Claude the actions that it can perform. And pretty much how Claude then reads it, it has a protocol of actions for this connection. And it knows that it can do this. Adding to cart, looking for products, searching, it can do these actions. And once you enter your prompt in Claude or ChatGPT, it works with both, then it's already ChatGPT's AI or Claude's AI that decides which action needs to be taken, and it executes it. And executing an action, for those that are familiar with APIs, it's the same thing. So it's basically calling an API, add to cart API with the data, and then receiving a response and providing you in chat interface updates, including inter responses. So we're not just sending data. We're sending data with HTML markups. So we can control this styling part so it looks nice. And as you saw, it looked really good. There were pods, all the things. We can actually make them brand-like, so the experience is really like your business. You can really make it your own. And in terms of tech stack, this part on the right, if you have the APIs and if you have a running e-commerce store, you definitely have them for all these actions. There's no changes. That's the beauty of it. Only thing that needs to be added is this MCP layer. And if you would like to proceed, then publishing to the libraries. But there's also ways without publishing before to test with test users. There's many ways that we can help as well to establish. So that's how it works technically. Let's look further. So two questions we always get regarding security of this. So who can access our data? And I see questions, so those will be additional questions. So that's good. We'll note those down at the end of the presentations. There's going to be Q&A time. I think we're going to have plenty, so I'll dive into the questions, all the questions that are asked. So make sure that you just drop them in the chat. It's all good. Okay, so who can access our data? So as I said, MCP apps connect via OAuth. So the same standard your business uses every day already, most likely. When you gave Salesforce access to Gmail or connected Slack to your calendar, all of that was using OAuth. So the person would access that connector in authorized way. There's also a way to not enable OAuth if you, for example, don't want to user to log in. So in case of e-commerce, there's PLPs, you can browse products. So such actions don't require actually authorization, and those can be available without authorization. Actually, all the experience that I showed could be without authorization as long as we integrate the guest checkout. That's all good. So that's the standard. So who can access the data is the people that you will give the access to. So you can control on the MCP level the access through this authorization. And unauthorized users won't be able to access it. And for e-commerce, that's one flow, but that's very important for internal flows because while we focus on the e-commerce flow, you need to remember that this can work with any system. And actually, me personally, in scandiweb, I use like 3 systems that are scandiweb built. There's no one maintaining. We build them ourselves, and they are all connected through as well to Claude and through MCP. And I'm authorized and using it through it. So for internal processes, making those workflows work better, faster with AI embedded on top of them, getting real data, that also works. And that's a great use case. And potentially we'll do a whole workshop, whole webinar just on that topic as well, because it's a big one for any business that want to streamline their processes. And will our data train AI models? That's the question we get as well. So we have to think about it in this way. The customer, my cloud account, I receive that data. And that means Anthropic, also OpenAI, sees that data as well. And I could be on a free plan where the training on the data that is exchanged, conversation is by default on. And I think most of the people don't turn it off. So can it be trained? In theory, it can on the data. In theory, it can. One thing that OpenAI and Anthropic says and states from themselves that they anonymize personal data before any training use. A good thing is that, for example, if you're thinking about an internal system workflow improvement and establishing that flow, and you don't want AI to be trained on the data, then business and enterprise plans of OpenAI and Anthropic Claude, those you can control on all users training off. So for those workflows, there would be no training. That's already in the agreements with them. So that can be established. So that's what we use in scandiweb. So no data goes outside of us, and no training is done. But at the same time, these are giant companies. And for example, the same as your customer receiving the order information could send it to their personal Gmail, receives it there, Google sees it. So that data still gets into Google's hands. That's how you can think about it. But there's definitely ways to ensure there's nothing is being trained on. And if it turns out they do, then they go against their statements, and that's already, they wouldn't want to do that. That's a lot of legal trouble, I guess, for them. All right, that's regarding security. And now I'll talk about what's scandiweb. So I'm Rolands. I'm from scandiweb, and have been working in for 10 years more already in IT. And this is a great time, I think, with all this new stuff. So what scandiweb actually can help you with if you're interested to proceed with this. So we handle all the engineering. So what you saw, MCP, connecting your system, establishing these actions, making sure the APIs return, making sure they return the right data, testing all of that, integrating it in ChatGPT, Claude, establishing this auth and secure account access, all of that we cover. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to be connected to your real stack. So it can be Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, any e-commerce platform, also other platforms, SAP, Salesforce, CRM. Maybe you have a custom in-house built system that you're using and your employees are using. That also can be connected. And on top of it, analytics and monitoring can be built on. And we also help with the adoption. So we'll help with the submission if you want to submit it to the libraries and be publicly available. We also provide the customer activation playbook because that's a new channel. It's if you would launch an app in App Store as well, you would need to promote it until it gets into the rankings. So if you want to get a lot of users using them and knowing about this possibility, there's a promotional activity that is needed. So we provide this customer activation playbook. And what we offer is that one team will own the outcome. So you will work with one and the same team from end to end, and they will help you get from the build, planning it out, to getting the adoption. So who you will be working with, these nice people, including me as well. And what we want to say is that we are not some just guys that are now with AI coming up. We have been in e-commerce and in system optimization, workflow optimization for 20 plus years already. So we know the craft, we know what needs to be happening, and this is just for us another level, another aspect that comes in to this game. And we're happy with engineering power, we can make it happen. And you will be working actually with the guys planning that actually will execute the implementation as well, which I think is very, very good. So it's completely free, 25 minutes. What we will do, you'll be with me, maybe one of my colleagues that you saw on the screens, but we'll go actually through what scenario makes sense for you. If you're e-commerce, let's go through maybe what you saw now, you want that. Maybe you have some internal system. Maybe you have a B2B and your customers are placing quotes, all those things. They're trying to reorder very easily. They need to go through a bunch of steps and you want to make it very easy for them. They just can do it through Claude. You want to optimize that. That's great. We can do it as well. And we'll talk through it. So highest value first step, we map it, how it works between systems. So we'll come out with a small, concise diagram and you live with the flow. And also we'll set up a first KPI that we want to check. So reorders, for example, going up, revenue increasing. We can set a realistic KPI that we track with a launch and promotion to get it to see that value is coming in, the one that you actually wanted. So the link is scandiweb.ai/AI app. There's going to be a landing page. Just click on submission, and there's an easy form. I think two boxes that need to be filled: your name and email. I think it should be very easy. So there's also a link in the chat. And another thing, like this is not part of this webinar, but before we jump into the QA questions, what I wanted to say is that we're working also, I know many of you have Magento. So what's coming up, I will actually not show the snippet this time. I thought maybe I'll show the snippet, but what you saw on the demo store, we have working for Hiva Magento as well. Magento in general, default Magento, Magento 2. So we already have a connector ready for it, and it works. So that is working as well. Pre-post, yeah. So I think the first package is around 10,000, and so 70% off would be 7K off. I saw a question popping up about the discount clarification. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, and Magento, where was I? We have this Magento connector, and even cooler thing is, okay, Claude and ChatGPT, that's already awesome. But we can also make it, if you want, to pull it out and put it on your website. So maybe you had some sort of chatbot, but it would now act like this. So you would have it pop up on your website, and users can place orders just chatting with it and doing the same things that I did with Claude in there. Same experience. So that's also something cool. I think there we can have we definitely have even more control. Some things that we lose on that end is that in Claude and ChatGPT chat interfaces, they have additional tooling that they support, like visualizations of some other things. In this case, we provided the visualization, but sometimes if you would like to, there's no action for comparison. Claude can actually, in their UI, create a comparison. In that chat, if we would own it, we would need to figure out how to show it then, the data. But that's also possible. That's something also Shopify that goes into, and they talk about it as well. So that's definitely where it's heading and something you would like to consider. All right. So looking for the signups, and just sign up in the next 48 hours. We can also schedule the session after a week. If you can't make it this week or next week, we can also schedule it later. The most important part is that you signed up and you will lock in the gift. All right, we are in questions. I'll now need to pull them up. Let me pull them up. So we have a poll, nice submissions. Thank you for participation. And now I'm scrolling through the questions. A lot of thumbs up. How do we know which MCP is legit and not? In terms of which MCP is legit and not, probably, Andres, you mean on the libraries, right? Or no, in general, it's like installing an add-on on your Google Chrome. So there's a market, you can install those. The ones that are on the market in ChatGPT and also in Claude, those go through vetting process. So to submit your MCP, your app, actually we need to submit it and it goes through this approval process. They check it, actually make sure that it does what it says it does. So that's the way, if you see it in a library that has been already validated by Anthropic and OpenAI. But people can connect to any MCP at any point, and that's already, users' decision to do it on their own risk. So if they, without a library, just connect to some MCP and start doing actions. Hope I answered the question. If not, Andres, just drop a follow-up one. Question from Lincoln, and I see that you are logged in on the website. How is the user authentication handled in the cloud chat? Yeah, that's the auth. So when I make the connection, what you didn't saw is the first part. I already had that set up, and as I said, it's few clicks. I make a connection to the MCP, and then there's a button you need to authenticate. I click on it, I select my Gmail, and it authenticates. That's how I get into my account. That's why it can place from my account things of the website. But as I said, it's not mandatory. There are flows can be established without authentication. So it's just connecting to the app and talking, and we could essentially build as well the authentication later down the road through the chat. Hi, Roland. Let's get connected together. We are opening Academy in Sweden and are in need some partners. Yep, that's awesome. That's noted down. We'll keep in touch. Is it possible to create this flow without having IT experience knowledge? So definitely connect with us. We'll help set it up. I mean, at this point, not having IT, I think anyone now can set up anything in IT without having knowledge. But what I would, and I must say from experience and myself, I do much more IT things that I before couldn't do and ask for technical people. But with this, especially if you're going publicly and exposing some data, you want to ensure that the main things are in place and someone with experience have checked it. So you want to make sure the security is there, and with API connections as well. I think maybe I'm not the best one to evaluate since I was a developer before. So for me, all of it comes easy. For some it's like a blank picture, I would highly suggest reaching out to Scandiweb. In both cases, we can help with experience, with our experience, and actually standing behind it that all will be good. Okay. Drop the link. Yes, we dropped it. Can you clarify? Yeah, I clarified. Got it. Can we build a custom MCP for our store on Shopify with passing with Shopify MCP? Yeah, I wonder why you don't want Shopify MCP, because they built quite a bit. That helps and can be expanded. So let's, Ellie, also sign up for the walkthrough and let's discuss this case. I'm sure we can figure out a way and get you up and running. There must be a way. But for Shopify, I would always suggest to check out first what they already built because we can together save on the time and also on costs there. Thank you. Okay, from Lincoln, can we see the demo of the Magento app? Yeah, so it's like very fresh. That's why uh, um, I'll show it. There's going to be, remember the website, it's going to be published there as well. The scandiweb AI apps, I'll show it. I was already checking it today. It looks nice, but I want to give it some final touches so it's really deserves your attention. Yeah. But it's good. It's very good. Thank you for interest. Hi, thanks for the great walkthrough. Is there any option to get this recorded? Missed a big part. Oh, Casper, definitely. Luckily for you, all of this is recorded, and in next 24 hours it will appear on the website, so you will be watching it. We'll just cut out the gift part. Because only the ones that join here will get it. But everything else, yeah, recording will be up and running. So just checking if I got the scope correctly, you can make an e-commerce shop from company available, reachable from LLM chat standpoint, company scale level. So any scale, I would say any scale. And yeah, as I showed on the slide how it's connected, uh, of course, the data has to come from somewhere and it has to go somewhere. The Claude and ChatGPT doesn't hold your orders as such. Somewhere they need to be placed. As long as you have that part, the system to hold orders, to have products, to return data, yes, you build this channel, and through it, customers can interact with these systems, can make orders. So you need, I would say, you can't set up a shop, fresh shop in ChatGPT and Claude only. That's not what we're saying. You still need some sort of shop outside that's already functioning, and then you connect it to it. Hope I was clear. All right. Does a language represent a challenge? We have Dutch website. Good question. I tested it in Latvian, actually. I don't know what's harder, Dutch or Latvian. And it's the same thing as, I don't know if you tried to use ChatGPT or Claude in Dutch. Probably you noticed, I know in English it's pretty good. In many popular language, widely used languages, it's pretty good. Doesn't make small linguistic, I would say, errors. But sometimes in Latvian, I see some direct translation from English and it sounds a bit off. So does it expose the challenge? I wouldn't say so, since the user that will be using it through ChatGPT and Claude are already used to those challenges, if there are any. And those are usually just, ChatGPT, how do you write that word? It's different. So I think it's fine. No problem. LLMs are getting better, and it's just a matter of time. It's going to be even better. I wouldn't worry about that. Language representation, I wouldn't worry about. Questions from Lincoln. I have two questions to you. What are the requirements and approval process for ChatGPT and Claude integration in order for an app to appear in the apps section? So first thing, you need to confirm that you have tested it yourself, and you need to make this some submission. And for businesses, there's a proof of business. So there's an application form will help with all of that. No, and as such, it's not a difficult process. Getting into the App Store, it's harder. In Claude libraries and ChatGPT, it's, I would say, easier. Will help with it. One thing that we can't tell is how long will it take to approve it. Both ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Anthropic both don't tell how long. OpenAI even tells, please don't write us about it. We'll take it when we can. Anthropic has an email that we can reach out and try to expedite the process. That's as far as we can get with it. But I think a week two would be something to aim for them to approve. It's something new. A lot of things are being published, so probably they have a line. But the faster we submit to it, the faster we'll get there, right? How much traffic can be expected from integration traffic in traffic? So as I said, it's a new challenge. Imagine you created an app. You have a website, already working website, and you made an app in App Store. The same thing. Um, as such, I would expect zero traffic coming in, right? Since actually no one knows that you created that app, and Apple won't suddenly show that one, oh, you look at this new app. So you need to promote it. How much traffic you can expect? It directly correlates with your promotional activities. So you need to nourish that channel. You need to make sure that your current user base knows about that launch. You need to, if you want new users, you need to inform them in other ways. There's paid activities, organic activities. This all applies the same to this one. So what I'm saying is, suddenly submitting to these libraries won't make the traffic to your orders skyrocket, because no one will know. You need to make sure that you promote it, and there are cases where OpenAI and Anthropic would put your app or suggest your app to a user. For example, they see that the user asks about your e-commerce specific products, something, and they could suggest that app, but it's something that they also write. It's not, they don't do it obligatory. That's can happen. So you can't really bet on that. You can bet on your actions. There are many checkouts on which data is being handled rendered by app. How the checkout journey will work in some of the data on checkout is shown after the checkout is rendered. Yeah, so just splitting the API, uh, uh, we would split it in those steps. No, it's probably already split. So there's a one API that gets the first step. Once the first step is completed, then the second one gets the first step's answers and returns that. It all works the same way. It's not a problem. It would work. Then example, delivery slots and dates are coming from the API and they are being shown on the basis of customer addresses. Yeah, the same thing. It would work. If it works on your, how you would think about it. If you have like a complex checkout and it works already on a website, we can make it into Claude. Only thing is this credentials. If for payment methods with credentials, passing them through, uh, here I would still suggest until Anthropic and OpenAI comes up with very secure model, I would suggest for those to happen inside your website. So basically all the journey up until payment. So just the payment step, boom, they are redirected. It's also for user, I think, not much nicer. They trust it. They don't need to enter in Claude their details, right? We don't want that. For the credit card, I mean. All right, thank you very much. I'll have a look. Okay, got it. I understand. Thanks. Okay, I got through all of the questions and we even have 7 minutes left. So you win some time back. I'm really looking forward to our workshops together. So submit. Remember, 48 hours and you get this nice 70% off gift. And we'll do more webinars. I know many of you want to see this Magento stuff, so we'll need to figure something out. Companies that you have implemented with this. Yeah, that's a question. This is something new. But what we can see in the industry in general, what I can give is about the companies. You can actually check the libraries and what companies are there, and they are getting more and more and more. And with that, the big ones are already getting there. This is they are not missing out on it. So I would say join the walkthrough, and I think the best feedback will be the one coming from you. And as a proof, social proof, we see that people are jumping on it. I wouldn't wait for competitors to start sharing feedback and only then jumping on it might be too late. Recording will be available on the website. Angelica will drop the link. Let's drop the link again. All right, that's it. Be on the lookout for the next webinar. Tell your colleague as well. And see you in the walkthrough workshops. Have a nice day. Bye bye.